Okay, so this is a maamer. Essentially, the Rabbi said, it seems, as they farewell, h'tשכ and verbringen, for the guests that had arrived for Tishrei. This is Parshas Lech Lecha. Daled Mrchashon, 1961. Al Yipoter Admo מחבירו, el met dvar halacha. The person shouldn't depart from his fellow only out of dvar halacha. Kach zeichrehu, remembering the halacha, so he'll remember his friend. Messiah, the Gemara concludes that whole account. I need to get the Gemara, but the bottom line is that Amalei, so one Amora said to the other, who had asked him, is it true that in Bovel there are date trees that go back to Admo? That's what he asked him. So he said, the Amora, bring me a brachas, I'm sorry, Yankel, it's not right, you're not saying the names. Let's mix up the order there. No. No brachas there. Say in the library, okay, it doesn't matter. In the library for sure, there's tons. If it's an art, it's Daf Lamed Aleph, maybe volume 2. If you, Morning David. Yeah. I should have prepared it myself. Okay, this is the volume 2?
Yeah.
All right. Now with Aleph on the base. With Aleph and with Aleph. So the Gemara says, it tells a story. He had Rav Kahana. The story of Rav Kahana, so he was, I'll just read the English. He was escorting Rav Shimi bar Ashi from Pum Nahara till Beis Zinisa in Bavel. So when they arrived there, Rav Kahana said to him, to Rav Shimi, is it true, Master, that people say that these Babylonian date trees have existed from the time of Admo? Here's the quote from the Maamer. So he said back, Rav Shimi bar Ashi said back to Rav Kahana, so you reminded me of a statement of Rabbi Yossi Rab Chanina. And what's the statement? Mai dechsiv. So he said like this, what does it mean that the Yibishter took them through the desert, and it's described as in a land through which no person passed and where no man settled? So the question is, if nobody passed through it, for sure nobody settled it. So why does the pasuk add? It's a pasuk in Yirmiyah describing Yetzias Mitzrayim. What does the pasuk say? That Layoshav Adam Sham. So he answered to tell you. So I'll be from the Gemara here to tell you like this: that Kol Eretz Shegoz Aleh Admo Rishon LeYishuv. Admo refers to Admo Rishon. Any place that Admo Rishon decreed that place should be settled, Nisi Ashva, got settled. Kol Eretz Shalei Goz Aleh Admo Rishon LeYishuv LeNisi Ashva. Any place that he didn't decree to be settled wasn't. So that's the answer. Yoshav Adam Sham, that Adam didn't agree that it should be settled. It was not settled. So you, by your question, you reminded me of this Pirush on the Pasuk. Finished. That's in the Maimon now. On Messiah, so the Gemara concludes that Amalei. So Rav Simi said, Rav Kahana, Adakartan Milsa, you reminded me of something. And Maidich Siv, what's the meaning of the Pasuk? Beretz Hashal Yovar Ba'ish, for Yoshav Adam Sham. And the question, if a person didn't pass through, then obviously didn't settle there. Leimalach kol eretz shegaz al adam additionally yishuv nis yashva. Any place that he'd agreed to be settled was indeed. The whole eretz shegaz al adam additionally yishuv nis yashva. That's the end of the Gemara there in the whole discussion about not departing from one's fellow el metech dvar Allah. That's how it ends with this milsa, with this teaching. Hang on. So the Rabbi explained, referring to the Maimon of the Yipoter Rebbe. No, it means it means the Yipoter Rebbe, not plural, singular. Al Yipoter Tofresh Peites, 1929. So when he came to America, so it could have been he left America. When he left, probably, to go back to Europe. On the Vayer, so he explains, didn't he got B'Torah Ksiv, about Torah it says, her paths are pleasant, all her ways are peaceful. Rather around her ways and her paths. But Torah, and Torah is a Torah of light. That it illuminates a person's path, and that's what we say. So the Torah of truth and eternal life He planted within us. So when in a person's life the truth of the light of Torah illuminates, and what's Torah? Torah is Chayim, the Torah of life, an instruction in life. That's from the Zohar. Torah Melashon Heiros from the Zohar. Shemeiru umeiras derech adam be'ilom. Torah illuminates a person's way, person's in the world. So us then who need v'nika gam b'chay olam ben adam lachaveiroi. So Torah illuminates not only his spiritual, so-called relationship with Hashem, but in all of his engagements between the person and his fellow is also illuminated. That's what it means by chay olam. Life of this world is illuminated. So he teaches the Yipoter Rebbe that Chay Olam goes bin Adam lachaveira. You follow? Okay, you're doing it to know the Avos. The V'aftal Kamboicha Hokeli Levaftas Hashem B'leikecha. They're not two separate things. Love your fellow is the Keli V'avas Hashem. Well, as I said, therefore, Kasha Adam Heilich Mechaveira. So the point he's making here is that they're inseparable. A relationship with Hashem means a deep and intimate relationship with one's fellow. That's the Chay Olam, which comes from where? From Torah. So if now it has to happen that a person has to leave his fellow, there's a separation in space. So we have to ensure that the love is not diminished, notwithstanding the distance in space. So that's why the one who leaves has to leave the other with something. That he should remind him of him until they will see each other again. This is a complete, chidush, as it were, of the Yipoter Rebbe, that the departure is only temporary. The simple pshat is you leave, never see each other again. But just you should remember, there's no guarantee you'll see each other again. But the Yipoter Rebbe is insisting that it's only temporary, and we will. And therefore, the Rebbe adds in brackets, kind of to support this, the Hoyer, it's noteworthy in Maamar Baal Shem Tov Vayador, the Baal Shem Tov's famous teaching, Shekol Mokim Shehoyer Odom Pam Achas Muchrach Lo V'Yishom Hashenis. Wherever you were once, you have to come back again. That's to say that Avodas HaBerurim, that it's not one time, it's twice. So kind of connected to that there's no leaving and not returning, you return. Of course, in the context of Fide Gereb and the Chassidim, he's saying, Chas v'sholom, we'll never see each other again. We'll see each other again. So how is it? So till then, till we're going to see each other again, how do we remain connected? So it's Torah, leaving. That's the means by which they take leave. Because Torah gives this life, even in Chaya Olam, as h'tשכ Chaya Olam means what? In Adam l'chavera, yeah? Be clear? Right, yes, guys? Yeah. So the Fide Gereb, why it must be Dvar Alochim? The mashma, the dafka azich. The inference is it's only through this that one is remembered. So ich love Malyin Dvar Alochim. Does a clear why dafka Dvar Alochim? V'yesh lahoisif. The active emphasis in the Gemara, the example the Gemara gives is not a halacha. Altogether. This thing that he taught him wasn't a halacha. Yeah. Maybe we'll see in the Maimer what he means by Dvar Halacha. But at any rate, now he's taking on Bapashtos. It means Halacha. There's many dimensions. And the fact that Torah, its paths are pleasant by this Shenosan, Shenosan, Lonoteres Emes. As a Chai and Lotapasecheno. So Torah illuminates our Chai Olam, which means our connections to each other. So I must be halacha. Every aspect of Torah will achieve that. They call in Torah. All of it is drachel darchinoyam, and all of it is chaya olam nata b'sechena, right? So lav dafke dvar halacha. Why the halacha? So that's number one. We said him as moreover. He says it's a double question. Kiv and shesarich rak lifa. What do we want? We're not chas v'sholom leaving forever. We want that he should be remembered until we see each other again. So therefore, we don't even need any aspect of Torah. Just leave him something, a memento. They could find many things, he means to say, not foolish things, but very beautiful mementos. If you leave that with him, the fellow he left it with will see it, and remember him, that they separated in place. And then mission accomplished, huh?
Like the concept of tzitzit.
Speak out to you. Pardon?
Like the concept of tzitzit.
Yeah. Like tzitzit, it reminds you, yeah. A picture could be better than a photograph. So you leave a picture. Or any other object. So why Dvar Torah? So the first question is why halacha, and the bigger question is why b'chalal divrei Torah. And thirdly, the call this whole Indian that he said, oh, you reminded me of this Dvar Torah, and that's all in the context of al Yipoter because he was accompanying him, right? And then they took leave of each other. Mal Kisher in Yonim b'mayim Razal. Why Dafka this Mayim Razal is part of the whole and the concluding teaching of Al Yipoter Adam. Okay, Ois Beis. Mamshir b'mayim. The Mayim continues. The Fide Gereb is Mayim. The whole in Zoyis yesh latchem tchila. This mind, by the way, is a hemshech of Rosh Hashanah. You'll see. So you have to have it first prefaced in the Yedua that Tzimtzum Arishan Shoy Bernitza Baruch Hu. So he introduces the whole union of Tzimtzum Arishan. V'holichem Avayir in at Tzimtzum, he goes on to explain the Tzimtzum, and that is Shekavonis at Tzimtzum Mishvela Giloi, that the purpose of the Tzimtzum is not the Helam itself, but the Giloi which follows. Kedlekamonas will elaborate. So first, Rabbi has to explain. Why is he going into this Tzimtzum subject matter now? Bekishet ha'inyonim, to explain the flow of the subject matter. Shenisparish ba'mayim, but the Maimon doesn't spell out, so the Rebbe is going to explain it for us. What's the need of tzimtzum here? And that is, whatever happens down here, for a yid, it all devolves from the Maila. The is the way they are above. And therefore, how is it possible that down here there should be the separation, the possibility of separation between one and his fellow, because that already exists between us and the Eibishter, who is our chaver above, namely Knesset Yisov HaKadosh Baruch Hu. She says in Medrash al Pasuk, the Pasuk in Mishlei, Reyacha, your friend, the Rei of Yicha, and the friend of your father, Al Tazev, you shouldn't leave, says in Medrash, who is that? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's the Eibishter. He's your friend. So we see that the union of Reyacha goes on the Eibishter. So how is it possible there should be a separation here between a Yid and his fellow? Because the Shorish of that is the Tzimtzum. The Eibishter made Kavayochel this Tzimtzum, but as the Fidige Rebbe immediately explains, the Kavon of the Tzimtzum is later to achieve a greater Gilui. So the separation is only to be reunited in an even deeper way. He goes and down to explain Barichas. Vingim bezeh dihine neshamas Yisrael neshamas chutzuvis mitachas kisei hakavod are hewn out, as it were, from beneath the kisei hakavod l'mala yos, and higher still. That's already kisei hakavod is post tzimtzum, but we trace it back even higher lifnei tzimtzum. Even a deeper source is lifnei tzimtzum. Harin neshamas mushroshes batzmus yizborech, and going back to the ultimate source, they're rooted in atzmus l'mayla filim atayra. Higher even than Torah. You do my marazal, and it's known the Medrash that Shiva Dvarim Kodm Alayla. 7 things precede the world. B'neim Torah b'Yisrael, and amongst those 7 things, the Beis Hamikdash and Tshuva, Shema Yishal Mashiach. So these things all precede the world. A Messiah, but within these that precede the world, the Medrash concludes Shema Chavtam Yisrael Kodm L'Chol Davar. That the thought of Yidden precedes everything, afilu l'Torah, and the proofs in Torah itself. Shenem Matzav is B'nai Yisrael Dabra, B'nai Yisrael Torah itself says, speak to the Yidden, command the Yidden, which means the Yidden are there, and Torah is composed to speak to them. Its Metzias is, the Jews there already, and this is being composed to address it. Now, and that which we explained in the previous Maimar, specifically the Maimar of Tika B'Chodesh. The Rosh Hashanah Maimar. Shatzimtzum ein peil shemshinu legabe lemayla. The Gabe is still yochid. Even after the Midas HaOlamus and everything, it's still yochid. Sarikein hu gamato. So the same is also true now. What does he mean by that? It means for us be'emes. There really is no real separation. Vim kein leishayich Yipoter Admo מחבירו. First time had us in the Eibishter. It's not possible for us to be truly separated, because since Misad Atzmos, there is no separation, and the Neshamas are rooted there, so it's true for us as well. Since the Neshamas are rooted in Atzmos even higher than Torah, so just like for the Eibishter, there is no change and all is one, the same is also true for the Neshama. However, that's mitzad the Sherish on the Neshama. The Kamalki might have said the Ishtalshalos, but as the Neshama descends through Ishtalshalos, Yeshna in the Yidis on the Neshama, Melamayla Lamata, the Neshama descends, Migarom, Belibira Mikta, and we lose that conscious, rooted in Atzmos truth. It's present but concealed. And we descend from this lofty roof to a deep pit, Kavayachal, but Bira Mikta Gufar and never shall it kiss, And in this deep pit, what happens is that it starts off and remains forever in its source. He becomes enclosed in a guf nefesh abamis be'ofen shenase yichud b'neir. It's not b'derech ma'ivur, b'derech islabshus. It becomes fused with the guf nefesh abamis. So there's a struggle, referring to Yaakov and Esav. So now we'll understand the flow of the subject matter in the Maimer. So that's what the Frierdiker Rebbe is explaining. He's explaining how could it be Yipoter? And when you need Eitzil, you have to overcome it with advice, which is the Dvar Halacha. How does this happen? The Yid is Murshish and Atzmos. So how can there be separation? So this he answers, that's a ma'is with that tzimtzum. It's all through the tzimtzum, as he goes on to explain there. And therefore, even down here it can happen. And does happen that one Yid is separate from another. Or could go separate ways. He's kind of asking, even Bagashmi shouldn't be shaykhs. All Yidden have to be together as one. Golus, dispersal, separation. So he explains, so he explains, he describes the whole process, the tzimtzum. First, at the beginning, there was a alien pashut. Let's translate those words. A supernal, simple light. That filled all of existence. And there was no place for the emergence of Eilamus, of in their own separate entities on any level. Never mind Eilamus, but close, and much more so separate. For sure it's not shaykhs. Yipoter, taking leave, moving away. There's no away. It's all one. Then came the tzimtzum. That's how things were at the outset. But then tzimtzum is atmika vayochel, and the matter of, as it were, he contracted himself. It's in the not in atzmos, but he's speaking in broad terms here. But the net result is that Hashem's presence is not revealed at all. Complete siluk, an absolute sense of absence. So that's the emotion right there. This whole, being separate from the Eibishter, and therefore separation between one Yid and the other down here. We're clear? Bottom line, it's all rooted in the tzimtzum. Yeah? Ois Gimel. Mamshi B'Maimer. The Frierdiker Rebbe continues, what is the kavanah of the Meitzel in the Eibishter in this tzimtzum? So this is the Maimer Azal we're talking about. So we're looking for eitzes to neutralize the effect of distance. That happens through taking leave. Al Yipoter, a person should not take leave. Don't even start this until you put in place the means by which you'll be remembered. So we're trying to negate the result or the whole metzius of Yipoter. So therefore, and that's why the Frierdiker Rebbe has to explain at the very outset, when he talks about the tzimtzum, in the Yipoter Maxhaveiro, even though the fact is that it's tzimtzum and therefore the separation become mokim, we have to know at the very beginning, the whole divine intent here is that the kavanah is not that it should stay like this. What purpose is there that Hashem shouldn't be revealed? What virtue can there be in this drastic and dramatic tzimtzum that doesn't simply filter but eclipses? Has to complete concealment. that cannot be the intent, and it's not. Well, maybe and he brings the raya sharigam b'madrege shlachet tzimtzum ksiv. Even after the tzimtzum, the pasuk says, it says, it describes choshech, that's the tzimtzum, and then like soyu bro eli shevas yitzara, that the world was created not that it should be in a state of toyu, which means undeveloped, but developed, not chaos, but settled. The kavanah hamitis b'chinas hatikon. The whole point is it should be rectified. The lasheves yitzara. We should dwell in the world, and that means to bring God's indwelling into the world. So the kavanah of the tzimtzum is a greater gilui. The kavanah samaitzel baruch being a tzimtzum u'shiyah silak el chas v'sholem. Yeah, it sounds like he's fighting this. There's objections up there. There are voices up there that say, no, it's tzimtzum. Yeah, you guys are out of it. You're just there to contrast how wonderful we are. It's the Malachim protested. So the Rebbe is relentlessly saying, it's boru and it's not so. That the kavanah of the tzimtzum is not the siluk, ala kavanah sa tzimtzum, which is galoi shlifnei ha-tzimtzum. That this oil should be revealed. And we get here now this nakuda, that what is the kavanah, that the oil ha-bligvul should be revealed where? In the Mokem ha-tzimtzum bin gvul. And that's a big yichidus. He goes on to say that the original oil pashat never, where the oil ha-gvul had not been manifest, which is going to explain that. Let's we'll go a bit further. By the way, this is also that it says, why Hashem created oil in the first place. The first thing was oil. The whole point of oil is to illuminate something. Nothing was created yet. First you create something and then you illuminate it. And especially Rashi tells us that this oil was immediately hidden. Okay, they waited till the end of, but in Inyan it was hidden right away. The answer is because Torah is being megala that the whole kavanah is oil, is gilui. So therefore it's got to be stated in Torah's emes. And in Metzias, Hashem created the oil first. This is the whole objective, even though the next thing is concealment, etc. The kavanah some maitzel is gilui. Let's go further. Vinyan bazeh dihine kivin shepulas hatzimtzum hinyan hafchi mag gilui shalifnei zeh. Now, since the tzimtzum is the opposite of what was before, which is Hashem revealed. It's not possible that the gilui, which is we're saying now is the kavanah of the tzimtzum, it cannot be to go back to the way it was. That can't be the kavanah. Why go through this whole process to go back to where we started? Stay there and finished. Huh? Oh, so there's got to be a chiddush that the creation experiencing this oil in Gvul is greater than the oil poshet that was revealed before. That the gili which the Yipter wants. Why does it have to be that the gilui is?
We're trying to say, I understand what you're saying, that that it has to be that the gilui can't be that it's the same that it was before.
Right.
I'm saying that there is already a chiddush.
That who knows this, that Olam must know it.
Yeah, that now there's somebody who can there's a mikabah for this, so that's already a chiddush, even without having to change the whole itself.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I'll think about it. I hear what you're saying. Maybe we'll get the answer. Let's see.
That's part of it, that somebody knows. That's part of the gilui of this. Part of being megalanize.
That's how, yeah. Yes, I responded before that the whole gufa, that makes it a greater gilui, but we need more. Let's see. B'shvil zeh kedai, so we can't say. So, therefore, we have to say that what's going to be revealed is a higher gilui. B'shvil zeh kedai shalefisha Therefore, it's worth it that temporarily, and in our sense, till this is achieved, temporarily, till Mashiach comes, should be the opposite of Gilui. It's all worth it, because the end will be even a higher Gilui than was before the Tzimtzum. He goes on to explain the Rebbe, the whole Tzimtzum. Okay, we'll stop here because this starts the whole beer, and I have a sense we'll have a clear answer to your question when he explains the whole process of the Tzimtzum and what's revealed through Avodah.